Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and we're back with another Wargames Atlantic kit, which I am more than happy to show off for you guys. These are the Goth Warriors, and no, we don't have Azrael, the Prince of Darkness, included in this, unfortunately. Wow, this is kind of dusty even. I've been sitting on these guys for a couple weeks, and I absolutely have no idea why. Maybe just I was backlogged with other boxes and videos of things, and I've really been looking forward to, well, I mean, they're not the most aesthetically pleasing of folks. No, I'm just, but there's some homely looking folks there. But honestly, these are some nice looking kits. We really don't have a whole lot of models in this era, so this is like, you know, late Roman Empire. But the nice thing is these guys are actually supposed to be completely compatible with the previously released Roman Legionnaires that Wargames Atlantic put out. And honestly, looking at the colors and looking at how filthy my hands are from playing with Agrak's Earthshade, oh my gosh, I gotta get that cleaned up. I think it's gonna be a fun little kit. Straight off the bat, I can see we have at least archers. We've got the musician with a banner. That's nice to see. We've got plenty of hand-to-hand options. There's spears, there's axes, there's swords. So that's really good to see. How many do we got in the box here? 30 figures? Not bad. Looks like we have some capes, so you can see a leader-type dude there. Yeah, it says here, the warriors are all in armor, but can be combined with the late Roman legionnaires with the Lorica Hamada and Lorica Squamata, which I don't think are actually released yet. 6 units worth of command for our upcoming army builder set, Dark Age Warriors. Now that is interesting. I know they made their kind of Napoleonic army builder sets, which I'm not super excited about, but I know there's definitely a market for those. I'm kind of curious to see what their Dark Age Warrior, because I mean, outside of like the older Wargames Factory / Warlord games stuff that they've repurposed, there's not a whole lot in terms of these types of figures. And oh boy, we've got the whole full sprue. Sadly, there are no Irish Wolfhounds like the Dark Age Irish kit, and we do only have 1 cape per sprue. It looks like we've got 5 bodies on here, so we got 6 sprues. Not bad. I do like the fact that we've got quite a complete set of bits here. We do only have, now check this out, there are 3 quivers, I believe. So if you wanted to load up your entire unit as archers, you are going to come up a little bit short, at least for quivers. However, I'm going to take a wild guess that if you're anything like me and you've picked up more than 1 kit of any sort of, you know, traditional historical ancients types, you're going to have plenty of quivers laying around anyway. So I don't see that being a huge issue. There are also sling arms, which I was not aware of. At least 1 you can see right there. We've got a horn. Okay, that's nice. Sheathed swords, always a plus. Not that I don't have plenty of already laying around, but that's okay. Hand axes, spears, a hunting knife, nice plain generic shields. Unfortunately, there is nothing on the back to help delineate where their hands are supposed to attach, but that's not that big a deal. Okay, so it looks like we actually have 3 slingers. So you could build 3 slingers and at least 3... Okay, well, you know what? Obviously, some of us need to pay better attention to what's on the actual sprue. So you have 3 slings and 3 bows. So the quivers actually are going to match up with everything that you can build. That's kind of nice. I don't see any arms specifically for those slings, though. Now that is interesting. It seems like you're going to actually have to go and snip off the hands. So if you're afraid of converting you guys, don't be. You can see here, so you are going to have to take those hands off of, well, something. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure if that's a top knot or an extra bit of detailing for the banner, but we'll find out. All in all, it looks like a nice little sprue. I can see myself definitely wanting a few more bits and pieces here and there, but that always seems to be the case. And, you know, honestly, it kind of reminds me of, like, the Dacian sprue that Victrix put out, in that, you know, they're kind of trying to meet every need for a gaming slash, you know, historical recreation purpose, I guess. So, you know, you are going to have a few nitpickers in terms of, you know, just the variety of options available, but I think, you know, yeah, you may end up with a couple of repeated sculpts, but with the amount of heads, of which we have quite a few, we have both armored and unarmored. That's kind of a nice touch. So you can see here we have the helmeted heads and then unhelmeted, so if you wanted to have completely unarmored archers, if you wanted to mix and match, grab some of the Legionnaire bodies, of which I did save some. The question is, I don't know where I put them, so, getting this video finished might take a little bit longer than expected as I go hunting for those Legionnaire bodies, but let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully I will have those turn up. Regardless, we are going to build up a few of our Goth Warriors, and I look forward to seeing how they turn out. Hopefully you guys do too, so sit tight. Alrighty, so we put a few of our Goths together, and unfortunately, this is the only one that I actually have a cape on yet. And yeah, I know I need to clean it. This is not done by any means. But I was pretty impressed, number one, actually by the arms. The way the arms are designed, I couldn't figure out why those shields were flat on the back. I mean, usually when we have any kind of tabletop model, you know, it's some kind of spot. Wow, my thumb is really dirty with ink on it. So check this out. I didn't realize this at first. This is one of the shield arms. It's actually flat as well. So a little bit of glue on the back of that, and everything is good to go. You have a nice solid foundation, nice support, nice base to glue everything onto, and you're all set to go. Man, I really got to get that Nolan oil off of there. Anyways, I was really happy with these, and the more time I spend with them, the more I really think this kit, more than any of the other historical stuff that Wargames Atlantic has released, has so much untapped potential. Now, I was a bit dismayed about the cape. They all want to lean here to the left, and, well, you know, it kind of prohibits you from doing a whole lot with that left arm there, and the shield really is going to get in the way. So be wary of that, and just be aware of it at least before you start, you know, gluing things together. I had originally wanted to put a cape on one of my archers, which I thought was one of the nice additions of this set, and it just wasn't cooperating very well with me, so we didn't get to do that yet. And I know when I was building my Dark Age Irish, I was really kind of bummed out we didn't actually have any bows in there. We had a lot of slings, sure, but you know what? This kit, combined with the Irish, I mean, now, here we have one of the custom hands. I think this is really got the potential to be a great supplement for those Dark Age Irish. Forgive my poor painting on him, but, you know, well, all the only difference is this guy's got pants and shoes. And he doesn't have a comically bad paint job on his face. Good God. Whew, yeah. Who knows what I was thinking there. One of the things I also had an issue with was I thought that the helmeted heads on some of the bodies seemed comically large. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's really big. Yeah, I know I'm going to go back and clean it. But the fact that you've got all these unarmored bodies. Now, I know that Wargames Atlantic themselves had made a remark about the fact that you can actually use these with the armored Legionnaires. So I tried that, and you know what? Outside of his very specific Legionnaire knife, I don't know if that's a Gladiator, I thought Gladiator were a little bit longer, you got yourself almost a perfect Viking supplement right here. If you haven't picked up any of the Victrix stuff, I mean, outside of a few head swaps, and he did have a sword that was attached there just a moment ago that I accidentally knocked off. But I think you could totally get away with using these, I mean, for all sorts of things. So I made a couple more archers. And I was thinking to myself, these are the perfect Dark Age archers. There's nothing inherently time sensitive about what they're carrying, what they're equipped with. You know, it's a very simple bow, very simple quivers, very simple tunics. You know, just depending upon how you paint them or what kind of heads you use, you can use these for all sorts of things. I think this is the guy that was giving me some serious Viking vibes. And why not, right? Again, outside of the very specific knife that needs to be cleaned up better before I start painting it, who's to say these couldn't have been used anywhere on a battlefield for hundreds of years all across Europe? Again, I was getting very strong Viking vibes with this one. Obviously, if I just did a quick head swap, we'd have a nice unarmored, well, maybe make him like a Saxon Herdman or something. Work just as well. In fact, I think this is probably going to replace the Warlord / Wargames Factory old Viking Herdman kit as my go-to generic European peasant light armored infantry type model that I want to do funky stuff with. Because again, I mean, with that arm you can glue just about any kind of shield you want on it. Obviously, if you wanted to give them some of the little smaller Irish shields, I mean, these guys would work great with the Irish. The heads can work well, you know. Obviously, the fact that they actually have pants. I like these Irish models. I'm definitely seeing a lot of conversion and multiple usage in the future. That's such a Viking head, too. So sadly, the capes, like our dude in the back there, did not want to fit on the Roman Legionnaire bodies from Wargames Atlantic. At least not yet that I've been able to get them on. Just due to the way the harnesses and straps are all in the way. I'm sure I could cut them down, but I was being lazy, and I wanted to get this up on YouTube as quickly as possible, because there are other things I wanted to build, and I wanted to get these out of the way because I've had parts of theirs all over the place. And I just keep looking. I mean, sure, I mean, if you wanted to use them as Germanic tribesmen, obviously this is a very specific period with the chainmail. I mean, if you wanted to swap them with some different heads, you could use them as like Dacians. Here's a more generic, I was going to say Germanic tribesman. Generic Germanic tribesman with an ugly shield. But the clothing, again, very simple, very basic. You give them the right head, they're good to go for just about any kind of faction, nationality, ethnicity that you'd probably need for any kind of European wargaming in history. So I'm going to have to track down some extra Irish sprues just to see how they work out together, because I mean, they have some very distinct faces, and you can never have enough wolf dogs, right? Right. So big plus with this kit, I think. I don't want to say it's like generic, but I want to say it's more like universal, you know? I think this kit has a lot of potential for just all kinds of conversion fodder across the board. You know, if you wanted to give them... I'm eventually going to try... I didn't know where I put my arms, but I was thinking, you know, we wanted to make a bunch of peasants armed with las rifles or whatever. I mean, the cannon fodder arms are quite simple in their design. If you look at the actual sleeves of these guys, they are quite simple as well. So I don't know. It should work. I'm going to have to give it a try. Hopefully on some Monday I will show those off on our weekly painting progress videos. And we'll get some work going on there and see what kind of conversions we can come up with in the future. Unfortunately, I had to clean the house, so I did not have time to really dig into my bits. But I think these guys are going to be a fun one to work with. I think you can use them in all sorts of different time periods, obviously more historical stuff. But I think they can serve a lot of purposes outside of just fighting off the Romans as Goths. But you know what? Use them for what you will. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.